So yeah, so then what you do after you've terrified a frog, you're gonna fucking, I think, smoke the it's crystallized frog terror.
Damn, so put it on some,
you know,
cabbage leaves, or put it on some sort of
right
smoking thing, and then you can,
and then so that's your entry into whatever that space is. Now, you know, like all psychedelics, there's a mythology around it, and I'm sure there's more than likely, if I'm going to sodomize a frog and get stoned off its terror, I'm going to need some way to think about it that doesn't the Jeffrey Dahmer of frogs.
yeah.
So probably they might say it's a gift, but I would argue, well, then you should let it bring it to you. You know, it should come to your house and be like, yeah, scrape my back, I have a gift.
Yeah, I feel like I would be thinking about that right as I was smoking it for the first time. I'd be thinking, oh my gosh, this is not coming from a nice place.
Right. This is coming from a frog that was being sodomized. Now,
I wonder what they have a little butthole.
that's the other thing. In all these pictures, I don't see the butthole part. And by the way, maybe they're not sodomizing it. Maybe the stick is for some other reason. Can you Google search frog sodomy, MEODMT? Thank you. Yeah, the frog sodomy Kubo.
There's a club here. Maybe we should go to the club. Maybe we can go to a meeting one night.
Well, I mean, honestly, like, having seen videos of this, and for everyone who does this stuff, like, I'm probably wrong. I don't know if they're sodomizing the frog, but my feeling is more than likely the frog is not in a good mood.
Yeah, you don't need to be doing that to a freaking frog. And did you just see that it can cause toxic?
Yeah.
What did it say? I had never heard the toxic in front of that word before. Hepatitis.
Well, let's see what this guy in a suit has to say. This is gonna be funny. We have to talk over it or lower the volume, I guess.
Let me also.
I mean, we don't have to show some fucking suit talking about it. The main thing is, so I never did that version of it. There's a synthetic version of it. And I ordered it online because there was a time when you could go to these, it was so funny the way they were.
Dark web?
No, they were called chemical research companies. So ostensibly, you're a scientist. And it just so happens that every chemical that they're selling for research is like psychedelics.
Yeah.
So, and it's psychedelics that haven't been scheduled yet. So you could legally order these things. And in those days, I thought, well, if it's not illegal, it probably can't be that strong. And
sure.
So I got this little bag of white, and I didn't realize that to smoke DMT, you can't. It's not the same heat as smoking weed. He's a lighter. It needs to be. You have to. I think it has to be a little like less hot. Not
less hot.
Yeah, I think you can like overcook it or something. I don't know. All I know is I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
Which is in those days I didn't care if I died. You know, I was just out of my mind, and so I didn't care. And in any kind of, you know, if you cared. If you want to survive, you know, you're not going to just smoke some white fucking powder you ordered from an unknown website that is supposedly the most psychedelic thing available to humans.
But you don't give a shit.
You don't give a shit. And so I smoked it the first time and I felt a little weird, but nothing happened. I'm like, well, there you go. It's not real. Fucking bullshit. And then for some reason I thought, you know what? Like, I bet if I put it on some leafy shit, and it wasn't weed, I can't remember what I put it on, I bet it would work better. And I'd read all these things about it that I've been on the Arrowhead.
Yeah, I love Arrowhead. I still get on
Arrowhead.
Arrowhead.
All the warnings, please be careful when you put this out. This is a very powerful thing. I'm like, shut the fuck up, Arrowhead. It can't be that powerful. And then I took a big old hit, and it was so weird, man. It was like my thoughts, it was like someone like slowing a record down, because I could hear myself thinking, oh, this is what they're talking about. And then like I fell back in my bed.
Did it scare you?
Well, I was gone. But so I was just gone, and then when I did come back, I thought, oh, I killed myself. I'm dying now. And they're gonna find my corpse in my shitty fucking apartment in West Hollywood, right up the street from the Comedy Store, all withered and decayed.
How long do you think it would have taken for somebody to have found your body?
A couple months.
Yeah, like finally a buddy's like, hold on, where's Doug or something?
He's on traveling or something. You know, he's a comic. Who knows? He just didn't show up for work. Who fucking cares? I think I was on the phones.
Flies could start showing up. That's what happened with my Uncle Lee.
Oh no.
He died in his condo. 2 weeks later, they used to drink Listerine. Sometimes it's very sad.
To get drunk?
Yeah, and they ended up finding out Uncle Lee died because the downstairs neighbor, a bunch of flies started showing up through like the vents. And it was the flies, I guess. Uncle Lee's apartment was probably, his body was probably filled with flies.
Maggots, yeah.
Maggots and flies.
How close were you to Uncle Lee?
Gosh, I remember on Christmas Eve when we go over to my aunt and uncle's house, he'd always smoke cigarettes out front.
Uncle Lee?
Yeah, Uncle Lee.
Any conversations with him or any
Duncan, that's a weird part of life. Just wishing you were maybe older when you were around this person. I wish I was older. Like now it'd probably be fun to talk to Uncle Lee.
He'd have great breath.
He'd have wonderful breath. I could maybe drink a little bit. We could talk about that. He could tell me he used to be a TV salesman. So he could tell me about how he used to, at Sears. So I think I'd have a lot of questions. Just his methodology for selling the television.
Oh, wow. That's the thing, man.
Sad.
You can't beat yourself up over, because when you're a kid, what's more annoying than your uncle and aunts? You know, they're cooler, but they're also intimidating.
For sure.
Because you know, when you're seeing an adult as a kid, you're seeing generally like a train wreck, like it's going over the cliff into the abyss of death, right? You're seeing this like slow motion collapse of biological life and the weight of all the bad decisions they've made, which you do as a human. But as a kid, you haven't had enough time to fuck your life up in any kind of significant way.
For sure.
So you see an adult, even though you like to be around adults, as I recall, there's something uncomfortable about you're seeing your future here. You're seeing why are they so irritable and unhappy and upset? Why are they always drinking?
Yeah.
And why are they they get so mad?
For sure. Guy, there was one freaking Christmas Eve where he ended up falling down a couple stairs and he took there were a bunch of like Christmas decorations stuff on a table and he took it all down with him when he fell to the ground.
Yeah, now, just by yourself getting that hammered is crazy. You know, you're so mad at yourself, you knock some shit over, and the next morning you wake up and you're like, okay, time to like get off the booze. Like this.
Time to eat some Wendy's.
Time to eat some
after that.
Waffle House, baby. You know, you want the most greasy food.
I went to Cracker Barrel yesterday. Have you been to a Cracker Barrel recently?
Yes, I have.
Did you like it, or what were your thoughts? Did you like it?
Very, like more disappointed than I expected to be. Like when I go to a Cracker Barrel, my expectations are already as low as they can be. Like, you know, like I don't have.
Even with the country store?
I love walking through the country store.
You did? Yeah, it's a nice country store. They have all kinds of stuff. They already had Christmas stuff out. It seems a little early for Christmas, in my opinion.
I love the country store, and they should have just kept it a country store, because that is what they're clearly good at, is like stocking a country store. What they're not good at is making breakfast.
Yeah.
Like Cracker Barrel's breakfast is like Satan had a special area in hell for those of us who just love breakfast.
Yeah, we eat breakfast down in hell.
But also, it's like, you know, I love breakfast, and a lot of people do. It's like, I'm not gonna say it's my favorite meal of the day, but a lot of times, not to like seem like an edgelord, if I'm getting lunch and they have breakfast available, I'll eat a breakfast lunch.
Me too. A breakfast lunch.
A breakfast
Never thought of it like that.
So, imagine, and to me, the whole eternal flame thing, because I think when something's painful consistently in a consistent way, you get used to it.
Ooh.
So it probably, if you're gonna pull off a great kind of hell, you need it to be
like what?
Well, if I was wanting to create like a really good hell,
Yeah.
this is what I would do. I would take the people in hell and I would make them reset, right? So like you come to hell and you reset, and I'd probably shrink them down, make it so that like they have other people in hell. And then what I would do is I would those other people in hell are so starved for love because they're disconnected from God. And so naturally they would like, I would make it so that love gets sort of like redirected towards the little souls in hell,
Yeah.
right? And so now they're just gonna love that thing more than anything ever, and that thing will love them back, right? And then probably what I do is I'd make it so that the older ones died somewhere around the middle of the younger ones' lives, you know, so they're just like, oh my God, this thing that I've loved more than anything is just gone forever. And then after,
God, Duncan, stop. It sounds like you're describing just real life a little.
oh yeah. Huh.
Oh, God.
But you know, it's different here.
I know, it's different here.
It's different here.
It is.
But if I was designing a hell, like the last thing I'd want is people to catch on that they're in hell. Like I would never want them to think that they were in hell.
So
I
it's
would-
not like a neighborhood or there would be a city or something.
cities, an economy, neighborhoods, and then what I would do is instead of using the demons in the classic way,
Yeah, I
You're-
think it may be flying around or shadow demons after watching the movie Ghost. I think that really got me thinking demons are shadowy, but I don't know.
well, in my hell, my demons would be the successful people. Like I would make it so there's actually no way in this hell that you will ever not be worried about like money. You know what I mean? No way out. Like no matter like how much money I would make a lot of people make money. And,
You'd
and-
have to,
And they
probably.
think, oh my God, I have all this money. But then I would like create a system where they have to give like based on how much they're making, like always half or more
Yeah.
back to hell. And
For
and,
sure.
and so that way you could never really get where you want to go. But then I would to give the sense that no, there is a place where you don't have to worry about money. That's where my demons come in. And I would make them look like the people, and they would like live in like
Oh, yeah,
huge
they don't have to worry about it.
mansions. I would make shows about like yachts and stuff that they would watch in their tiny little hell chambers.
Yeah.
In the few hours of quote freedom they had before they had to venture back out into hell to trade their life energy to get food. Something like food. You know what I mean?
But yeah, maybe in hell though. Yeah, maybe it could be some. What would it be? But yeah, some sort of energy.
Energy
But not like
cubes.
not like eating food.
No. Cubes or something, or like,
Ugh.
you know, maybe, I know tiny little energy cubes that were all put together that looked like a hamburger or a
So
hot
you
dog.
end up eating the thing, or you just so you still end up eating the thing, but it doesn't really look.
It looked like a hamburger, but if you like look deeply into it, you'd probably just see a lot of like tiny little cubes or dots spinning around. I don't know. I don't know. If I was running hell, I would have some like an engineer handle all that shit.
So that would be sad though if you like got drunk in hell one night or something, and you go to your Wendy's and you bite into the Dave's Double, and yeah, it's not actually a Dave. That would start turning into hell for me.
Yeah.
For being like, wait,
And that's
I'm
Cracker
sorry.
Barrel. That's Cracker Barrel, which is like someone was. It's like someone who has never eaten before. They were like, here, I'm gonna show you something called breakfast, and I want you to replicate it and serve it to people. And that's Cracker Barrel to me. It looks like it could be breakfast. You have eggs, you have toast, you have your sausage, you have your coffee. But
For sure.
it's uncanny valley. It's like the simulator. And wherever there's a Cracker Barrel, it doesn't have the processing power to pull off an actual breakfast. So you get 8-bit breakfast. Cracker Barrel is surrounded by a wonderful store.
Well, it was a real nightmare at a Cracker Barrel in Tennessee a couple of years ago. My brother, he's a lawyer in Memphis, and he had a case where there at a Cracker Barrel, some man was eating, or some person was eating, and grabbed a cup and drank out of the cup, and it was a bunch of bleach. One of of the workers had
What?
left at the table yet. A giant lawsuit. They sued the hell out of Cracker Barrel.
So who was this? Your another uncle?
No, my brother. I think he was associated somehow. I don't know why.
Did he take the case?
I think he was going after Cracker Barrel.
He got the
Which
case.
was kind of weird for me, Duncan, because I'll be honest. Yeah, yesterday, but I was a little annoyed. I got my blueberry pancakes, the grandma's pancake breakfast, turned them into blueberry pancakes, but they did not have the blueberry syrup yesterday. Which was kind of a downer.
But that's the other thing. You go to a Cracker Barrel and you want to go wild. Guess what?
Let's go wild.
This
Like
mor-
5 biscuits.
You want the blueberry thing. You know what? This morning, I'm not doing coffee. I'm doing Diet Coke.
What?
And then they'll be like, "Oh, sorry, the carbonation machine's broken." This episode of the DTFH has been supported by BetterHelp. You know, because I have a brain, I force myself to learn how to do new things all the time. And right now, I'm trying to learn how to draw. And it's so great. I love it. Once you force yourself to do something, you realize that part of you that told you you could never do that is out of its mind. Yeah, you could pretty much do anything. All you have to do is practice, but it's really easy to start believing in things that are completely not based in reality. And the next thing you know, you find yourself locked in a kind of subjective Han Solo carbonite coffin, which is everything you do and all the things you can't do. And this is where therapy can help. Therapy can help reawaken that part of you that was who you were when you were a kid and you thought you could do anything, which was true. You were right. It can help you reconnect with the spark, that part of you that just wants to learn how to do stuff, not because you think you're going to be Picasso, but just because it's fun to get better at things. Therapy can unlock the door to so many new skills and experiences. And who knows, maybe you could be the next Picasso. Wouldn't it be sad if Picasso had thought to himself, I'm not a painter, I can't do that, and then believed it? We would never have his incredible art to act like we understand it and use it in a commercial to act like we understand art. If you're thinking of starting a business, you better help it try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist. You can switch therapists anytime at no additional charge. Rediscover your curiosity with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Duncan today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Duncan. Thank you, BetterHelp.
Yeah, it's like, well, I'm not going to drink a Diet Coke in the morning, bitch. So
Yeah,
what are
so you
even
fucked
talking
me
about?
because you have the fantasy of some incredibly rotten, physiologically damaging combination of pancake, blueberry syrup, nice Diet Coke, so you get that nice burp.
Oh,
That little
yeah.
bouncy little pop. And no, you're not getting that.
Bouncy little pop. I know. That's fun when the burps come out like that.
They do with Diet Coke. The Diet Coke burps are.
Are you a big Diet Coke guy?
Not anymore.
Do you drink regular Coke? Or are you Pepsi?
I drink Coke. It's Diet Coke. I can't do any of that shit now because of my diabetes. But
Oh, yeah.
I think I can drink Diet Coke. But I just
It's not good. I don't drink it. I don't get it. I will drink a lot of carbonated water beverages, which are horribly boring. But
yeah.
Diet Coke, I don't know. It always tasted funny to me. What is that sweetener in there? And I think it gives people stomach cancer, so be real careful.
Yeah.
Drink a bunch of Diet Coke.
Yeah, I think that it can't be good, right?
No.
You the shit we consume now, and then you just look back like 1,000 years when the technology to like make food, like
Coming around.
it's whoa, man. Like you would everything it wasn't considered healthy to like drink a lot of water and eat organic meat. It's just what
Yeah.
like it was no couldn't they didn't have the chemicals to add dyes and stuff. And then when you look at like how I just think it's normal to like, you know, nice bubbly brown liquid with a myriad of strange chemicals in it, of which you don't even know what the fuck they are unless you're a biochemist.
Yeah.
And always some in the background drone regarding whatever you are eating these days, which is trying to be killing you. But you know, so when you eat now, you're always worrying. You're not eating, but somewhere back there.
Well, you got it there. Cracker Barrel yesterday. I look at my grandma's pancake breakfast and it has to tell me the calories. I don't want to know the calories. I'm trying to have fun at Cracker Barrel. You know what I mean? And all these things. I go to a Wendy. Actually, I don't. I like Pete Terry's. You ever go to Pete Terry's?
Yes.
Oh, I love some Pete Terry's.
Pete Terry's is great.
Yeah,
Pete Terry's
that seems
is
really good. I love it.
I still like In-N-Out better.
Do you?
Yes, you know. What? You can chime in.
Yeah.
The fries. The fries at In-N-Out suck.
Okay. Yes.
So if I'm gonna get a burger and fries, Pete Terry's wins.
Okay, you're right. The fries at In-N-Out, I wouldn't say they suck. I would say they are slightly below average fries. In-N-Out burger, on the other hand, is
It's really good. I
It's
totally
good.
like it. We live we live close to both, so we can have both sometimes.
You could go to Pete Terry's, pick up some fries, go to In-N-Out, get the burger, and you might have a perfect meal.
Might have the perfect meal.
But Cracker Barrel, on the other hand, it's not okay. Here's the main thing. Like, I know legally they have to put the calories on there because some asshole thought that would have any kind of fucking impact.
It
on
just
people's
rains on
eating.
my parade.
Just stop. It's just stupid. It doesn't work. And if you're at a Cracker Barrel, you don't give a shit about yourself. You don't care about your ancestors. You don't care about anything. You're a nihilist. If you're a Cracker Barrel, you're a nihilist. You hate your ancestors. You want to destroy the earth. At night, you dream of ripping the heart out of angels and eating it. That's who you are if you could.
But if you do have a grandparent or something and you want to give them a good Christmas present, maybe a Cracker Barrel gift card,
No.
it could be good. You don't think so? So you're,
If you're giving your grandparent something
yeah.
and it's a Cracker Barrel gift,
Is that not a good Christmas present?
dude, it would be better to put them on OnlyFans. Less sinful to convince them to do like an OnlyFans than to fucking like get a crack. Like they carried your mother in their womb. Your grandfather had the courage to court them, take them onto a hay bale, yank their fucking old, musty, like whatever the fuck old back then down, like down, hairy. Your grandmother's bush, guaranteed, was unbelievably.
It was down in Mississippi.
Oh, that's Mississippi
Down in
hair
Mississippi
pie.
in the Delta.
Oh yeah. So
The
that's
Delta of
humidity.
Mississippi.
Humidity
Very humid, very flat.
and lice.
Ugh.
Because like everyone had lice. Like so you're just think of the courage of your grandfather as he like just pushed his face into this like swampy, thick human mat of pubic hair crawling with lice, and then just made your grandmother come so hard. And then like, you know, he pulled out his beautiful shaft, pulsing with veins, and like, yeah, was it filthy? Absolutely. Covered in
sure.
oil and dirt.
Yeah, down in Mississippi.
He had to like wipe like sand off or something, and then but she loved it. Like she loved him. It's like The Notebook. And then it was like a hot knife through butter when he entered her for the first time. And the moan of your grandmother as your grandfather pumped into her, his ass cheeks, muscular and like weirdly wrinkled, but in a kind of masculine way. That
Yeah, sometimes that can look pretty cool
From
and
the
masculine.
spankings.
Sometimes it can.
the spankings your great-great-grandmother used to administer to him when he was in college. She'd come to college and
He'd
be
be
like,
real bad.
"You've
yeah,
been
after college.
bad," and then bap, spanked his ass until it wrinkled up. And all I'm saying is,
How did you even though it's so weird? You've been right on a decent amount of those, but how did you know about
you gave
the
me.
spankings? Yeah, no, it's so weird. It's so
Did you not think that I read it? I read the whole thing.
I didn't know. It's like, I don't know. I start feeling embarrassed. It seems weird to send people a little biography.
Well, dude, first of all, I just have to say this: like, when anybody sends you a book or like something they've written, and you're their friend,
Yeah.
you're like, please God, let it be good, because
I can only imagine.
and so
I can only imagine.
it's like to get your book and the cover looks fucking incredible.
Thanks so much. That took a while.
Yeah, it's The Story of Me
Mm-hmm.
by William Montgomery, and also I thought it was a little audacious in the sense that, like, to write an autobiography about yourself. I feel like this is the thing. Like, if we're gonna
It's a newer thing. I feel like it's a newer thing. I feel like people are starting to do it a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And so I know that must have been difficult for you in the sense that they're like, what do you like? If I want to write a book of fiction, I can just like pick up a million books of fiction. But if I wanted to, like, the idea of like writing about what happened to me in my life.
For sure. I mean, it's weird writing. I started writing it at 33. So it's kind of weird.
By the way, I'm sorry, I should have said up front. The Story of Me, you can pre-order it on Monday.
Yes, pre-order on Monday. The publisher we're working with, it's already, I swear, I don't know to say this, but I do look at you as a good friend. You would be so happy. You'd be
Really?
Yes.
I get it, man. I get your book,
And did you, so you thought it was okay. So I'm assuming since you
Thought it was
recounted
okay.
some of that story, did you not think it got a little too, correct? I'm not going to use the word sexy, but you don't think it got a
I
little
liked
weird?
it. I loved it.
Okay.
Your book is it's going to revolutionize nonfiction. For one, I mean, you've just trailblazed a new path,
Yeah,
which is
for
this.
sure.
I was thinking, like, God, there's so many people who don't know what their life was like.
For
You know what I
sure.
mean? Like, so many people. I'd love to know, I don't know, Michelle Obama. Like,
Yes.
I would love to know her life. Like,
Love to know.
And
Because I really don't know enough about Michelle.
No, exactly, and I think there's something really cool and like enigmatic about that.
Yes.
But like to know, like, where'd you go to high school and what
Sure.
how
She
did
was a first lady. It's like, give me something.
Something.
I'm an American.
Yeah.
I need to know a
Oh.
little background on some of these people.
Captain Sandy from Below Deck? I would fucking do anything to read this story. fellas.
Sandy, if you're watching, we love you.
Yes, we love you. Oh,
Captain Sandy,
God,
get us on your boat.
man, I shouldn't. By the way, Captain Sandy for president. Like,
Yes.
can we please just like get her?
Maybe a
into the-
Michelle Sandy. Let's not even.
Don't even go there, dude. Don't even go. And
That's
bring-
my version of hell, Duncan, is thinking of these wonderful. I mean, those two would be unstoppable.
Well, and you just know that is something that could happen,
Yeah.
and it hasn't happened yet. And you do pray, and I pray before I watch Below Deck. Even though I know it's already been filmed and stuff.
I know.
Just some of the relationships that are happening between the students. It's just like, I feel like a lot of them deserve love, and I think they have a real hard job.
They work so hard. Seriously, it's so strange you say that, Duncan. Seriously, they work so hard on those freaking boats. It's like, yeah, I get it. Sometimes generally, it seems like you probably don't want to be going out with maybe a coworker or something. But it's like these people are out on the ocean or what have you. You know what I mean? For so long.
And they are servants.
Yeah.
They only give and give and give to the clients. They just give and give to the guests, and it's like, God, that level of selflessness. I feel like it needs fuel. And
You
we-
have to add fuel to that fire because people these days they're not like that. There's not enough people like that. I think you could learn a lot from the wonderful souls.
Oh, the whole fucking thing. I mean, if we look at the Captain Sandy, what is Captain Sandy? Captain Sandy is the symbol of what humanity could be.
Yeah.
She symbolizes, I would say, something we all hope exists, which is a kind of benevolent yet stern, mystical figure that is steering the vessel of reality. And we're all just on that ship that is history. And so I think Captain Sandy probably represents in Gnosticism Sophia, the light of the divine that comes into the demiurge's malformed creation. And I would say that the crew would represent the saint. The crew, when I see the crew, I'm like, okay, well, the chef is probably supposed to be Jesus.
Oh, interesting. Because
Because the chef is always getting crucified. But rises from the dead.
I know.
Makes
Man,
a
that guy
great meal.
can cook.
Oh, dude, and
God, that guy can cook. Where is he?
the current chef, that's really fucking weird because he disappeared in Bolivia.
Yes, I don't even know. What are they thinking? See, it's starting to scare me a little, Duncan. That I think can happen when somebody does. Yeah, I mean, somebody so powerful. Just generally.
Well,
I mean,
just
such
the
an
people
ins-
coming on the ship,
Yeah, yeah.
and you hear them talk.
Yeah, don't let the people on the ship anymore. I don't know why they are letting.
No, I
people-
mean the chef probably overheard a conversation with some people on the ship talking about like I don't know, Illuminati shit. And the chef probably fucked up and I don't know, dropped a spoon. And they're like, what? And they realized he was eavesdropping. Anyway, I don't know. Also, I do know that the chef was where did he go to school? Stanford or something. He was like
that sounds right.
in maybe not Stanford, MIT. I think it was MIT. And he was really big into anti-grav research. And so he had, prior to getting on Below Deck, just published a paper on a room temperature superconductor. In which could, that would revolutionize a lot of things. And also something, I don't something in there, phonons or something within the, regardless, the idea is that found why, superconductors is a mystery to many people. Maybe he found out, he got a deeper understanding of what it could be, and also that leads to potential levitation, which leads to obviously if we could have gravity bubbles around drones, we would have an incredible weapon. And so so I know he went from MIT, writes the paper, goes to the State Department, and then apparently he met Captain Sandy.
Where? And I apologize for right there. Even that's the only emotion that could come out. It's how did they even freaking meet up with each other? How did those two
meet?
Yeah, I mean, how did that even
records.
happen?
Records.
What are the chances those two personalities
that they're digging through crates in some Brooklyn record store or something, and
I know.
and and then I think they were both looking for some rare Pavement album, and so and then they just started talking, and how she is, she can tell a good person. I think she said, well, can you cook? I need a chef. And he's like, honestly, Captain Sandy, I'm a theoretical physicist. But she's like, but isn't that cooking? And boom. Now.
Crazy.
Yeah. It's so weird. You got to put yourself out there, man, because you never know. Your life can change in a moment. You could be a
1000%.
chef on a yacht.
And
tomorrow.
watch the show.
So good.
Highly recommend.
Highly recommend. It is incredible.
It's one of the best. I hadn't seen anything like that. How long, Duncan?
Oh, it's There Will Be Blood is one of my favorite movies. This makes There Will Be Blood look like a fucking piece of shit.
Oh yeah,
I can't
it's out in
even
the
watch
ocean.
it. Yes,
That's scary.
it's scary out there. The winds.
God, did you hear about that super yacht that recently went down?
I did.
And then what happened? So what? The guy's a lawyer. They had recently won some lawsuit or something, and then the guy dies, and the guy's lawyer dies the next day crossing a street or something.
Yes.
Wasn't there something weird with that?
Well, you know, the conspiracy folks are
Yeah, what do
always
they
gonna
say?
find something weird about anything. A bird flies across the street, and they're like, "Oh, it's a camera." So, you know, let me explain this. I love debunking. So here's the deal: the gentleman who died on the yacht was in some kind of big legal case because the technology he was developing was some kind of really powerful, I think, surveillance technology or something like that.
Oh, somebody lied to my ass. Somebody said he was a Chef Boyardee, like made all the money with Chef Boyardee and was coming out with some new sort of tomato sauce. Somebody got
no,
my
that's
ass.
no, that's just not the whole story.
Or is that?
That's
oh.
true.
Yeah, I heard it. Some
Yeah.
dumb. Okay.
That's-
Somebody told me, and then I was telling everybody. I like to get on the phone and tell everybody when I get these scoops.
Yeah,
And
it
they're
was
telling me it's a Chef Boyardee guy, and I'm like,
no. It
Okay,
was, he was
okay.
A lot of the Chef Boyardee guys get into surveillance tech. Like it's like a direct road from the Chef Boyardee corporate offices to the Pentagon.
yes.
Like, I think
yes.
if you look it up, 45% of high-ranking intelligence officers in the United States government worked at Chef Boyardee for at least 5 years.
And what is that office building they have in Boston?
The Chef Boyardee office?
What is it? They have this random building in Boston.
Oh, dude.
Look it up. But you
Oh.
can't even see it well. You can't even see it on Google Maps on the satellite. They like block it seriously.
I mean, can we pull up a picture of Chef Boyardee? Let me just show you something.
Yeah. I mean, people forget.
And by the way, for people like you who don't listen to the conspiracy people, conspiracy means it's not real. Everything that I'm talking about now is 100% real. There we go, Chef
See?
Boyardee. No, pull him up. Pull him up.
And that's only a
The
recent thing.
black and white one, please. That one, yeah. Okay. Now, can you pull up a picture of a little somebody named Adolf Hitler? And side by side with Chef Boyardee, if that's possible.
And
Okay, now pull up, there's Hitler. Just, there you go, pull that up. Any one where you see his face, now Chef Boyardee. Oh, well. Can we pull up Hitler again? I mean, no, I said pull up Hitler, and who did you pull up?
And Duncan, I could be wrong, but can we look up one more person?
Sure.
I think it's Uday Hussein.
Yeah, check this shit out. This will blow your mind.
One of Saddam Hussein's sons.
Boom.
Is this little different?
Not,
Or kind of.
I mean,
Here, let's
not that, I mean, the lighting they're using is like probably a little different
Yes.
than they were using for Hitler.
that one down there, maybe where he has the mustache. Yeah, maybe right. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks,
Maybe a little better.
yeah, no,
Eh.
no, man. Listen, there you go, there it is. And also, you have to understand, like, when they're doing these photo shoots, they like, yeah, there's Hitler, there's Chef Boyardee. Go back to Hitler, please.
Yeah, the Hitler's Chef Boyardee. Yeah, we
But
can
it's like
disregard.
Hitler, like, it's like, imagine, like, Hitler puts on like 30 pounds. Now go to Chef Boyardee. Boom. So, you know, everybody knows about Operation Warp. Everybody knows that a lot of Nazi scientists made their way to the United States and became what? They became physicists. They became embedded into like the United States science apparatus, as well as like probably like it became sort of like proxy surveillance people. You know what I mean? So when we look at Chef Boyardee, I think it's clear who Chef Boyardee, like, you know, who that could be. And a lot of people, like, they say that when they've analyzed the bones in the bunker, that's definitely not Hitler. But what they won't hear, you know what else they found in the fucking bunker?
What?
Hitler's favorite food.
Chef Boyardee.
Well, it wasn't called that then, but spaghetti.
Oh, spaghetti. He loves spaghetti. That's interesting.
I
Because you
mean,
think maybe a
no.
German guy wouldn't like Italian cuisine.
No, I mean, that
Oh,
was,
but they were buddies. So maybe that makes sense, I guess.
exactly, because
Oh,
so
excuse me, yes.
So Hitler, you know, goes to Italy to visit with Mussolini.
Yeah.
And I think like he had requested schnitzel, and
I've never liked that. I feel like I've
I
had
don't
that
like-
once or twice. It's just that weird breaded
I don't
something.
like it. I don't like schnitzel at all. it's really not good food. It's too
Yeah.
breaded. It's like, but I've never had like good like German schnitzel. which
Yeah,
I
maybe
imagine
there's
is
some
very
good
good. I've had American schnitzel, which is just yeah. So you know, they're out of schnitzel. Like they didn't basically, and they didn't get the ingredients. By the way, the guy who didn't get the ingredients was hung the next day in front of Hitler. But he stopped the hanging. Why? Because spaghetti.
Really?
And he cried. He ate spaghetti and he cried and he said like it's the best thing he'd ever eaten. He was so happy that the schnitzel wasn't there. And so when he saw they were gonna hang the guy who forgot to get the schnitzel, the breading, the breadcrumbs or whatever for the schnitzel, Hitler supposedly ran to try to stop the execution. It was too late. But yeah, so yeah, there you go. So then, Hitler's passion, like when he wasn't working on the war, was cooking. He wanted to replicate, and he would cook with Mussolini. And Mussolini would like try to teach him to make spaghetti, and you know, it was really like a frustrating experience for both of them. Because, like Hitler,
It looks like he makes good spaghetti.
oh, supposedly his spaghetti was top notch, and so Hitler got real paranoid with Mussolini because Hitler was on meth, and he started thinking that Mussolini was like not giving him the actual recipe. that he
Oh, I hate
used.
it when that happens, when you got a buddy who you're trying to get a good recipe and you're like, you're fucking with me. You're leaving something out, you dumbass. What do you think, I'm not going to figure it out?
Yeah, exactly. And like,
There's only so many spices, idiot.
dude,
Why don't you just tell me?
and this is where their relationship like had a real rift, is because the whole Nazis looking for the Ark of the Covenant, that's a retelling of what they were really looking for.
The spaghetti
Mussolini's
recipe.
Spaghetti recipe.
Would you have worn something like that? That green outfit? That green outfit he's wearing. That's crazy with those little dingers. That's kind of
So
a,
what are those, wind chimes?
oh my gosh, so people know he's coming and they can straighten up.
Like a cat. It's like you put a bell on the cat so when he birds, he's like killing so many people. They had to put
Yeah, they had to put
chimes
the
on
little
it.
chimes
so you
on
know
him.
he's coming. Have you ever seen Mussolini's building? You see Mussolini's government office? I mean, at least he didn't try to tiptoe around the fact that he was like a fascist fucking. Look at his office. Look at the one with the. Look at that. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, look at that. Like,
He could have had a better artist. I feel like if you're gonna put a freaking bust of your face or whatever you call it, you need to get a good artist. You could
Yeah.
probably find somebody in Italy. I'm sure there's a good artisan who could do that, a good sculptor.
dude, like,
Look at that fireplace. Is that a fireplace? You need a bunch of logs for that?
that's a walk-in fireplace. You can walk. You can just walk right in the fire.
Yeah. that
That's
thing's huge.
that thing is. That's cool. That's so yeah. Anyway, so like to start tying things up here. The Nazi like the entire they and honestly, this is why like sometimes I'm like, you know, bad of meeting each other can somehow lead to good things, and maybe I'm just trying to find a light in the shadows here, but supposedly Hitler's obsession with duplicating Mussolini's spaghetti recipe
Yeah.
became so intense that he stopped paying attention to the war. He wanted to, he told everyone around him, let's stop, let's apologize, give back what we can, and let's just focus
Apologize
on,
to everyone.
let's focus on that's what his exact words. Well, I think
I don't know.
there was, you
Maybe
know,
there's some stuff you can
there was
apologize
some stuff
for.
that would be hard for him to apologize
Yeah.
for, and I think that one of his advisors said to him, like, I don't know that an apology letter is going to work for some of this stuff, and so then Hitler couldn't end the war because he was convinced that his apology probably wouldn't be accepted globally, and so but he just basically hung up his swastika. And that bunker was his kitchen. People think he went in the bunker. He'd been in there for like months, just trying to work on spaghetti. He was obsessed.
Do you think he ended up finding? I think some people talk about that. Do you think he ended up finding Mussolini's recipe there at the end?
Have you ever eaten spaghetti in Brazil?
No.
It's the best spaghetti you will ever have.
And then, oh, okay, so maybe that answered it, because what German people, some of them went to Brazil.
I think the trajectory of what happened is pretty clear. I think Hitler and like his closest associates went to Brazil, opened up an Italian restaurant. I think what I've read, and again, this is stuff from like the dark web, and this is stuff from like, you know, hacking groups I'm part of, but like, so there was an Italian restaurant in Brazil, and it was called Chef Brasili.
Okay.
Right,
Yeah.
Chef Brasili.
Seriously?
Yes, and so that restaurant was like one of the favorite, like, the CIA. It was like all over Brazil at the time because they were studying Brazil, which was being cited all the time, and they wanted to study it.
Yeah.
Long story short, the CIA realizes that this is Hitler's Italian restaurant, and instead of doing what they should have done, which is brought him to justice, they recruited him supposedly, and that was the creation of Chef Boyardee. So that is why.
And the guy on the yacht was the relative or just high up in the company?
Oh
or
boy, here we go.
Yeah,
Conspiracy
yeah.
shit. Okay, have
But something.
have another toke.
Well, I think he was associated totally.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. Seems a little weird. He and the
Show me
Lord died.
like, where are you getting your information from?
Well, I mean,
Show me the proof. That's
Okay.
a problem with you people. Like you say
Okay,
shit that
stop.
is so ridiculous, and it's misinformation, and people fucking hear it and they believe it, and it fucking like gets all over the internet. And now people are gonna
what do
say
you mean prove it? Duncan, you know what I did the other day?
what?
I got back. This was a couple of weeks ago. I got back from somewhere, and I like hadn't slept at all. And I'm going down the escalator of the Austin airport, and there's two Jehovah Witness ladies, and I was feeling like kind of in a weird mood, kind of. And I talked to the Jehovah's Witness ladies, and I'm like, "What makes y'all think y'all are gonna be part of the 144,000?" And then, but basically. I was like, well, y'all probably need to change your policy on not having birthdays and Christmas and stuff. And the woman was like, oh, well, I have fun every day. And I was like, prove it. And then I walked off. And then I was like, William, you're fucking insane. Why did you talk to these poor old women?
They probably thought you were the devil.
I know. They probably
Some
thought I was
fucking
insane.
Big red beard guys like prove. How do you even prove it?
Yeah, I know. Shit, that bitch wasn't having fun every day. I don't
How do you
believe her.
prove that you're having fun?
Yeah, no shit.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, how could she prove it?
No, I'm saying like if there was a show, if someone had to prove to you that,
Yeah.
what would be the like? How
I
can
don't know.
convince
Maybe
you I'm
a
having fun?
little. I don't know. Maybe at least a little smile or two every day. Maybe that's having fun. I don't think she was even smiling once or twice.
Well, this was the end of the day at an airport.
Beginning of the day.
Beginning of the day, so they're probably just grumpy. They're probably tired.
Oh, I know. And I was the grumpy one.
Why do like missionaries go to the airport? What is that?
I don't know. I saw someone. I was going to the Mall of America, and I thought, I'm not talking with them again. After what happened the last time.
I mean, I'm always like, my feelings get hurt by the Jehovah's Witnesses because, like, you know, you pass any good cult stand, and like, you know, you're kind of hoping like, please talk to me. You know, I want to feel the beginning of the manipulation.
Yeah.
And they ignore my ass. Like, they don't even look at me when I go by. And it's like, it always like kind of hurts my feelings.
See, they need to get better at their tactics.
I think their bedside manner sucks for people trying to recruit for like some kind of like cult, basically. Like, dude, like, come on.
Yeah, 1000%. I was talking to these two old women. And I was like, prove it.
You know who is really fucking good at recruiting for cults?
Who?
Manson.
Oh, yeah.
Manson had the recipe, dude. Hot girls at parties, like Jesus, and that you like.
What would he give them drugs?
The girls?
Yeah, wouldn't he give people drugs? Acid and stuff.
I read that Manson would give This episode of the DTFH is supported by DraftKings Sportsbook. TD Tutty, taking it to the house. Whatever you call a touchdown, they matter more at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Score big. DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code Duncan. That's code Duncan for new customers to get $250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 and get 1 month of NFL Plus Premium only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for